There's something very wrong with us.
We are
You have no
back,
idea.
and we are the Murder Moose Podcast, part of the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
It's in the game. It's in the game.
It's in my ass.
It's in Kid's ass. Along
every
with Weasel.
every week. How does it feel
Every
being
week.
in there every week? Like, is it just like hanging out? Yeah.
Amazing. It feels incredible. Random side comment about being inside of things. Self-promotion, hardcore. I talked about birth canals on stream all day today, as well as fucking a caterpillar from A Bug's Life.
I had rage came into my under stream and going, Ken's talking about fucking caterpillars. And I'm like,
just normal.
I wasn't surprised. And then the background that your perverted mod AJ was trying to sell $2,000 caterpillar fleshlights, and I was just like, what is the world that we're living in? I'm like, none of this surprised me. This is Ken streaming in a few sentences, but here we are.
Look at how beautiful my girlfriend is. That's my self-promotion. She's just so beautiful.
Why does she like you? I don't get it. No, I'm kidding.
That's your caterpillar. Amazing.
Before you got here, Ken, we were admiring how gorgeous Josh is, and
he is gorgeous. You're all gorgeous. What the fuck?
Gorgeous.
Look at you, Ken.
As a whole, this is a pretty damn good-looking podcast.
I just rolled out of the tub like a whale. I was in the tub and I was
Ken messages our group chat and goes, getting out of the tub. 10 minutes later, and I'm like, Ken, stop being naked. And she's like, I'm trying. And then she
I was looking for clothes. I still haven't unpacked. I've got a month and a half's worth of shit to unpack.
I mean, dude, at this point, Ken, I would seriously not go back again. I would try whatever you can to get that, because the shit that's happening with people not being able to come in and out of the country, I'm actually horrified that you're going to be like, try to leave someday and they're going to be like, you said this. They literally stopped a French scientist from coming into the country because he was talking shit with his friends on text message about Trump. On text message with friends.
And the wild thing is, like, going into Canada is such a fucking breeze. I had that one situation, that one time.
Yeah.
But it is such a breeze. As a U.S. citizen, going into the U.S., it's rough. Like, I'm not getting, like, completely ran into a corner or something, but it is rough. And, like, I can only imagine now, and I have no desire to leave. So I have 6 months to figure it out. We'll go from there. I'm supposed to go back in September because my cousin's getting married in October, but
I think a gift card would be fine.
Yeah.
Be like, here you go, happy for whatever, but fuck, man. We live in the end times. Ugh, fucking A. How the fuck?
So when are you guys coming? You guys are gonna come up too? Yeah.
We're gonna come up at some point, yeah. Oh, them? Yeah. I thought you meant over to your place, but yeah, I want to come over.
I'm looking for jobs.
Well, you just have to come over.
Good. Yeah.
It's not up anymore. You're literally just
over.
You're to the right. You got to come to the left, and then you're there. You guys got to come up. But at least Rod's in Colorado, and they're making Canada Friend Day in Colorado. So
yeah, and didn't they like raise the Canadian flag the other day?
Yep, they did.
They made it was National Canada is our best friend day.
Good.
It's really easier to deal with the end times of what the shit show of America is when you live in a place that isn't a shit show. Like
it allows you to be high.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything though. And it's just like, I would be way more trying to get out if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for living where I do, I would be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's a lot more normal sounding people. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way here, because while my state as a whole is very red, I live in the city where it's very blue.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by like-minded individuals and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's not me just existing isn't entirely the worst thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, when I go visit my family,
geek.
Fuck.
Ken goes back to Tennessee and gets Jesus preached in the middle of grocery stores. So like that
but then she moves back to Canada and people are putting up big Canada flags across the street and stuff. So there's that too.
I still think that was intentional. It's very narcissistic, but I still think it was intentional.
Just put one up yourself.
Yeah.
They're like, this is Canada. This is not America.
We don't like you here.
We don't like you here. What, man? You know how bad it is that you're upsetting a bunch of Canadians, the people that are. I know they're not all the nicest people in the world. I mean, Josh married one of the scummiest people in the world at one point. So like they're all Canadians aren't great, but yeah.
No, but
so.
I'm put out positivity, and it comes back, and I just block those crazy narcissist people. And
Josh Kung Fu grips. Josh looked like an action figure that was doing the Kung Fu attack.
That's me blocking negativity. Block. 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 Block.
Have you guys been
That's all you
got
to do. You know when the podcast turns on you, Rod? All you got to do is go block. Because at the end of every podcast, we just turn on Rod and he doesn't know what to do.
I'm used to it because every time I walk into Ken's stream, Ken has this thing in our stream where if you're like a level tier 2 or 3 sub, you get your own custom interest. And I'm not even in tier 2 or 3, but she gave me a limp dick song where every time I come into her stream, it goes, limp dick, it ain't working. And I'm like, Ken insults my penis every day I talk in our stream. And I'm like, I don't know what I did to deserve.
The best part is that somebody gave me that specific for Rod. They were like, this should be Rod's entrance sound. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I don't think you're even close with them, which makes it even better.
I don't think so either. Because it's like the people I talk to a lot in your chat are like Ralph and like, Socrates and shit like that. And I'm like, what? But that's the thing, right? Like when you're kind of a loudmouth in most streams, like I am, like you kind of get reputations, and so people that are like kind of more lurkers will they have like opinions of you, and so they like, yeah.
Oh, it's Rod again. Fuck.
Is it that Rod guy? Oh shit.
Not Clown Dick.
Goddamn Clown Dick. What have you guys been watching? You been watching anything good?
I finished Cobra Kai.
I've not ever watched one episode of that show.
It was good. It got super cheesy and campy near the end, but I like the way they wrapped it up. As far as the series is concerned, anyway, everything kind of comes full circle, and it starts to reflect why the show is fucking called Cobra Kai again. Because I will say that in the middle of that run, it feels like it lost its identity a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I thought they set the new movie. Did they set the movie that's coming out? The movie, the Karate Kid movie.
Yeah, it ends. The show ends, and it doesn't. I don't feel like it ends with a massive jumping off point to the new movie that's coming out. That's got Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio in it.
Yeah,
but there's I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I think that movie's gonna be fucking stupid. But
I didn't mind the Jackie. I didn't mind the Jackie Chan one outside of like Jada or whatever his name is. Little Will Smith was, Jaden. Like he was okay, but the rest of that movie was pretty good because Jackie Chan was pretty good. But like
that was one of Jackie Chan's best dramatic performances.
Yeah. So, I haven't I was talking to you guys before. I started the 3rd season of Reacher and got like halfway through that. That show's really good, and I like.
Is there ever reach around in that? Like ever?
No,
not even one reach around.
Not one reach around.
It's a shame. Fucking shame.
But he's really good. Like the first time I ever saw him, he played Aquaman on Smallville, back in the day. And then he played he was like one of the giant dudes in the Hunger Games movies, like for one of the the rich districts. So, and I forgot that, what do you call him? The guy from Jack Quaid was also in that as one of the that was like his first movie too. So
the cool Quaid.
You've been on your adventure coming back to Canada, but are you back to reading Dungeon Crawler Carl? Are you like
Yeah, I actually was reading in the tub. So I've been doing that, and then I'm back on learning about Mormon and LDS and FLDS stuff again.
Yeah.
Because there's excuse me, there's so much stuff coming out with the Ruby Frankie and the Lori Vallow stuff. So I've just kind of dived back in, and then I found a podcast that's by some relatives of the last podcast on the left, Henry Zabrowski. So
Yeah.
I've been listening to that again, or I've been listening to that one. It's like an 18-part series. And I found out that Mormon Stories is like 1,000 parts. So I'm just back on that shit.
Which one
Josh,
got
you-
kicked from the last podcast on the left?
Ben Kissel.
Okay.
Didn't wasn't he a shitty person or something? Like
Yeah.
that's what happened.
He was
Yeah.
like abusing women, and he was a super drunk, and like he was just horrible, and they paid for him to go to rehab, and then when he came out, he was talking shit about him the whole time, and he's
I've heard-
not from everything that came out without personal experience with him, it would appear as though he is a garbage human.
You know,
It's funny
and
how
that's
you
the
can.
thing.
It's funny how you can hide that, or maybe the efforts of the other people hid that for a long time. Because I was on a podcast for a few years with a real fucking garbage sack of fuck, and I shut my mouth for a long time. But Andy Lytle's a piece of garbage.
Brian
Fuck
has
that fucking guy.
not said anything out loud.
I'm starting
officially about
I'm
that.
starting to reach my old man stage where I just don't give a shit anymore.
You don't give a fuck?
and I
Block
fuck that
negative
fucking
energy,
guy.
man. Just block.
Yeah.
That's
Listen, here's the
like-
deal though about last podcast on the left. If I could sit down with Marcus Parks like for a week, not all day every day for a week, but like, you know, a couple hours here and a couple hours there with Marcus Parks from last podcast on the left, my
Mhm.
entire world would be made, because I just want to sit and talk to him about like all the stuff he's experienced, like the topics that they cover, but also the fact that he's bipolar and he works in an
Yeah.
industry that like, you know, is doing better with recognizing bipolar disorder, and just like the way that he's able to maintain his drive. And I would be ecstatic. Plus Henry's cool as fuck. And Ed Larson, I really like Ed Larson. So I'd love to sit down with him. I wanted to do the VIP experience to go. And like, I'm not a big person that goes to meet people at shows or Comic-Cons or anything, because they're not going to remember you. Like, who gives a fuck? But like that one I would have been willing to do if it wouldn't have cost like $400 or $500 to do the show and the VIP. So
I learned recently.
Do you get a reach around with that?
no, Reacher's not there.
Okay.
Reacher's bipolar, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And I saw this something, and I'm like, I think he was the one. I saw someone. I think he was the one. You know, when you see this stuff like that, and you're like, that's really awesome. And then yeah, Josh, you been watching anything?
Just been busy working, man, which is great. I
Good.
haven't been busy in a
Good
while.
problem to have, man.
I've been
Congrats.
taking a lot of meetings and interviews and that type of stuff on for new clients and everything. So few positive things and waiting for others, and have had zero time other than watching this movie, which is like I'm glad I got to rewatch it because it's more insightful. But what I want to know, we got to talk about this, Ken. We got to talk about this.
I saw that.
Discuss.
Who sent me that? Somebody sent it to
I
me.
sent that to you. Yeah, I sent it to you, Ken.
Yeah. But then somebody else sent it to me. I think it
Yeah,
was Rage.
Yeah, I think Rage
Explain this
did
to
it.
our listeners. that are
There is an image on the screen, and it's 2 pieces of paper, and it says corporate needs you to find the differences between this movie and this movie. One is Psycho Goreman, and the other is Satan's Little Helper. And then underneath is Pam from The Office with my name on it, and it says they're the same movie.
Discuss.
Disgust is right.
Listen, Rod thought so too. Okay, do not let him off the hook.
I did not.
You said it before I even got it out of my mouth.
No,
so
I completed your
The
sentence because I
fact-
knew where you were going. You were trolling me.
the fact
and I was,
that you were able to complete her thought
Ooh.
That
oh
quick.
yeah. Right.
definitely tells me that it was already kind of on your mind a little
you were
bit.
thinking it. I was
No,
brave enough
he
to
had
say it.
reach
You got
arounds.
it.
All I was thinking about was that sister from the movie. You know me. She was...
man, I'm mad. She's so hot.
I downloaded The Art of the Steal
I
just
saw
to watch
that.
because she was in it, and I remember that movie from back in the day because it's like a Canadian movie. Jay Baruchel's in it and then shit, and she's in it for like 2.5 seconds, and I was like, still, she made
Worth
that.
it.
Dude, I was watching Brandon Tenold's reviews, and he was reviewing that Alice Sweet Alice movie from like 76 or something like that.
Brooke Shields.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, but it's not a Brooke Shields movie.
No.
But like, so that was Brooke Shields' first role, and then when she got famous, like later on, like she was like 10 when she made that movie, and when she got famous back later on, they re-released it, like putting her face all over it, trying to get. Brooke Shields is literally in it for 15 minutes and then gets choked out and set on fire. Her corpse gets set on fire, and I'm like, but that's
Just like Drew Barrymore.
not. Yeah. No, because Drew Barrymore was like
That was
a
the
big
bait
star
and
by
switch.
that point. I know, but I meant more like that shit happens all the time when people blow up after, like, you know, it's
That's the only reason that Cabin in the Woods even got like they were just sitting on that movie forever, and then they're like, wait a second, let's put this out, and then it blew up instantly, became the cult classic it is. Too bad it was directed by a dumb person.
Piece of shit.
But,
Yeah,
a narcissistic piece of shit.
why do people in
I love
Hollywood
that,
have
yeah.
to do stupid, weird, gross shit? I don't get it. The power complex, right? Like, I guess.
Yeah. It's power, man. It's like power is like one of those things that for a lot of people is very addictive, like a lot of other things, like drugs and whatever, sex and so
Ugh.
Okay. You guys want to dive in and talk about Hard Eyes?
We're talking about Hard Eyes, right?
We are talking about Hard Eyes. Let me get the.
Are we talking about Hard Eyes today?
We're talking about Hard Eyes today.
I thought we were talking about Justin Bieber's eyes.
I mean that also. Okay, so this is a synopsis from IMDb. For the past several years, the Hard Eyes Killer, HEK as they call him half the time in the movie, has wreaked havoc on Halloween. Wow, has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, hey
I'd
kid,
love
what's
to.
up?
For the past several years, the Hard Eyes Killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering
Wreaked?
romantic
Why do you guys
couples.
keep saying wrecked?
I don't know. Wreaked is correct, but when Rod said wrecked, I was like, okay, maybe that's the pronunciation. This Valentine's Day, no couple is safe.
We have such a great podcast of people that pick hobbies that they talk and read and things like that. And
I love you guys. It's great. I'm giving you a round.
I can't pronounce anybody's name, so I'm definitely not any better than it.
The whole reason I do not read is because before you guys were on this podcast, Rod saw how terrible I am at reading and was like, don't worry, I will do it. So I don't even attempt it anymore. So the fact that I'm the one making fun of you guys for this is it's
Josh
just
would
bad.
be like, he would get 3 words into a sentence and it would be the ADHD squirrel meme. And Josh would be like, squirrel? What? Squirrel?
Yeah. Why are you making me read? I don't read.
Yeah. Dude, I'm one of those people
not to read.
There's a thing where where a lot of ADHD kids, especially undiagnosed ADHD kids who read a lot as kids, and then we all pick, all the ADHD here, and then you read out loud and your brain doesn't your brain has their own readings of things, and then so you try to say things out loud and you're like and
no.
here we are.
I read ahead while I'm reading. So especially if I'm reading out loud, because then if you read ahead while you're reading out loud, then you can see what your next word is and blah, blah, blah. But I even do it when I'm reading books, which is weird. So I'm double reading. But then whenever I go to speak about something in chat, I catch hell for reading it out loud and coming not completely grasping what's being said, because when I read something out loud, I don't retain the information.
Right.
Ken's eyes. I mean, dude, that's the thing. I don't know about you guys. I do that thing where I auto complete words when I'm saying it out loud, which is another ADHD thing. But yeah, so.
Well.
Okay, Ken, this is your first watching Hard Eyes. What was your opinion?
Yeah, we all saw
Hold on,
this
I want to
twice
hear what
now.
Brian was gonna say.
No, I was just gonna transition into talking about the movie like Rod did.
Oh, okay.
What, we're professional now?
No.
Since when?
I loved this. This was a blast. It was so much fun. It was not scary. It was nice and gory. The kills were great. It was humorous. Katz liked it. He doesn't usually like horror, but sometimes he watches with me, and he really enjoyed it. He's funny to watch stuff with because he like tries to predict who the killer is out loud the whole time. And like I knew who both of them were pretty like once they showed up, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. And he was immediately like, "Oh, it's Jay, the character Jay. Like it's him, 100% him." And I was like, "Nah." And then like, but I had a blast with this. I thought this was so much fun. This is definitely going in my rotation of movies for the holidays. We've got some killer holiday-based movies now that are fantastic.
It's funny because this movie, like vibe-wise, reminds me a lot like of like how it embraces a slasher to like Thanksgiving. Like they're not the same movie, but like especially the drive-in theater scene reminds me of it. Like it has that vibe of like just absolute chaos, right? And like I said this to you guys, I think after I watched it. This movie actually, I don't think this movie is a slash. I think this movie is a romantic comedy that has a slasher.
It is 100% to me a romantic comedy with a slasher.
They toe that line really well. Where they
really do.
Because like with Thanksgiving, they could lean into more of the comedy type thing, whereas this did as well. But because it's based around Valentine's Day, you have to be romance forward, and you have to take all the tropes. And if you're gonna do something like this, well, it's nothing but tropes. You have to trope the fuck out of the movie. It's all the horror movie tropes that we love from like it felt nostalgically like 90s almost slasher, which like I think movies, well, not just movies, but like marketing in general and Gen Z for some reason just loves 90s. But it's probably the same way that our generation loved more of the 80s shit. And so I think that 90s nostalgia, and those are like the slashers that I grew up with and love and hold dear to my heart. And I've watched a lot of romantic movies because Diana does not like watching movies. So if it's a movie, I've seen a lot of shitty romantic movies, and the amount of tropes that this one picked up on it's comedy in itself.
It absolutely is. The number of times that they have little lines that are literally references to every rom-com that ever came out.
Yeah.
From like My Best Friend's Wedding to 10 Things I Hate About You and all of that shit.
To Love Actually. Like there was that whole section, just that short little section where she was making, it was like this little thing where she named off like all these movies just in the sentence. It was very much Gym Class Heroes, the I Took Cutie for a Ride in My Death Cab song. It's
I mean, I like the writing in this movie a lot.
I do too.
I think it's
self-aware
really well. It's real funny.
I think it's funny, Kim, because we were talking about before you got here, like how we all kind of agreed this movie doesn't hold up as well on a second viewing. Like it was weird. Like I think that a lot of that is like because you're on, I mean, you just watched it. You're on for that first ride. I mean, we're not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want
it
that.
Was
like taking
so
out.
fun in the theaters. Like seeing it by myself, not having a good theater experience in a while. I was like, I like got up and was like, like that was fucking stupid and fun, and I loved every minute of stupid fun at the movies with popcorn in my hand. Like that's what you're supposed to get when you go to the movies is stupid fun. Rewatching. It's like, oh, I know this stupid thing at the end that I wasn't a fan of. And like, there's still like parts of the movie that take you away and you're still having fun with it. But that ending, knowing that it's coming. Yeah.
The vibrator scene makes me laugh.
Kills me I die laughing when she hits him with that fucking vibrator.
She just chucks it at his fucking head. And it's just like, and it's like vibrating on the floor when they're running out. I'm just like, well, it's funny, dude. It's because like this movie made me laugh in the theater, and I laughed watching it the second time, but like between that and the monkey, I laughed my ass off of the monkey just because it was
I
so
did
like
too.
over
dark
the top.
comedy.
It's
That
just,
was like
yeah,
super dark, in your face dark comedy, and
Dude,
and
that
it
movie's
was
yeah.
done well.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm glad that we're like starting off and we're in March, right? And we're getting close to the end of March. But I mean, we are at the end of March, but like we've had a couple of really, killer movies so far, and I'm glad because like last year was like the first half of last year was kind of a trek. It wasn't as good for a lot of
Yeah,
great
but
stuff came out the second half, but
I just went to the movie theater today because it's in the mall. I'll drop off Diana,
yeah,
do some steps and stuff. There's nothing out, and like Ash is out, and it's not getting anywhere near my city,
yeah.
and like that
Wait,
type
do you
of
guys
shit
not
pisses.
have Opus?
I
I'm
think Opus is
probably gonna
there,
see that this weekend too. That's
I want to
that
see
and
Opus
Hatch are
so
both playing
bad.
this weekend.
but
I was
Ash
gonna
looks
see it
so
before I
fucking
left
good.
the States, and like I was sick and I couldn't go, and
Yeah, I remember that. That sucked.
And she was so happy about that movie, and then like got sick, and was just like, no. I mean,
But have you guys seen any trailers for Ash? Like, it looks fucking
no,
fantastic.
I've seen like stuff on
but
Instagram and
because I
stuff.
pulled it up specifically to watch it though.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks
but
fantastic.
like Aaron Paul, dude, I don't know. Aaron Paul hasn't exactly done a lot of great stuff since fucking Breaking Bad. So I'm glad.
Aaron
Fucking
Paul
Need for
is
Speed's a
phenomenal.
goddamn cinematic masterpiece.
I loved it. It was fun.
I don't know, man. Most of his crap has not looked very good. So it's good to see him doing something cool, and that's not like whatever. Because he's like a lot of actors now. Like him and Bryan Cranston, like they have cred for life, man. It doesn't matter what the fuck they do. And Bryan Cranston had cred going into that, right? I mean, because of what I learned about him on Malcolm in the Middle. He actually made money because every time his character on Malcolm in the Middle was humming, it was just Bryan Cranston making shit up on the go. And he actually got into the Songwriters Guild of America because of it. And then he would get like royalty checks from it. And then he would throw parties for the cast, like for Malcolm in the Middle. And I was like, that's the best. That man, like, he's up there with like, he's probably up there higher now because it used to be like Dave Grohl was like number one I wanted to hang out with, and then like the whole like Dave Grohl like thing, and I'm like, Dave, why? And now
with
he's
the
hanging out with,
illegitimate child thing.
yeah, and just like he coming across as like, but Bryan Cranston's up there of people I'd love to hang out with because he seems like a really cool motherfucker, and yeah,
Totally.
Man, without even watching a trailer, just looking at photos of this movie, I want to see it. Ash.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks.
Yeah,
fucking
I don't
fantastic.
even know. It looks sick.
So
I might go see that tonight. It's playing at the theater right down the street.
yeah,
I'm jealous.
So let's see.
I'm not gonna rod it to you, but I'll tell you if I liked it or not.
Fuck you, Brian. So one of the things Josh and I really for a long time we've been talking about in the podcast. I want to talk about like the Mask because in 2025, where a lot of these slashers have gone to black hoodies and generic masks for the killer, and this is a pretty cool
one-off.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool.
It
like
stands on its own, and it has something iconic that glows in the dark, and has something that it does for them, so they can see in the dark, and like it. There's, it's cool.
I think it's a cool mask, and I think it makes it stand out, and I think it's one of those things that makes this movie have its own personality, and
it leans into
I'm
the.
a sucker for a good looking
stupidity.
fucking killer. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like a sleek, good, clean, like look when you're with your villain. And I like the look of this villain. I like the hard eyes aesthetic.
Yeah. I like his her tools,
Right.
like her knife that has the heart on it, the nice crossbow concept, the machete. Like I like that there's a variety, but yet still within one realm.
Yeah, and I like that it is like a crossbow because it's almost like a fuck you to Cupid kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I like that. I think that's neat.
I think that it's funny is that I want to know how likely those arrows are of actually working as well as they do, because they're all like, if you haven't seen Hard Eyes, the crossbow has like a button release, like a spring release, like the arrows are like cut in half or like constricted or like folded together, and then you hit a button or something, and they like pop out, and it's used in the like end of the movie. But like, I'm like,
crossbows work.
What?
Kind of like how crossbows work.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of.
But crossbow,
a little bit.
no, but the arrows, not the fucking crossbow.
They're called bolts.
Yeah, they're called bolts. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Fuck you guys. Okay. That's
hey, Rod.
Hold this, motherfuckers.
Rod.
Block that negative energy, Rod.
Block that negativity. There you go. Guys, I'm gonna spend the next few minutes explaining how to
You're fine. We're all fine.
You're a turd, Ken. You're a turd.
He just can't.
That's valid, honestly.
You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers.
So there's two things that happen on this show. We will definitely talk about
Psycho Gorman.
And Rod will call us motherfucker. Like those are the two things that happen on every episode.
I mean, you guys asked for it. Let's be real.
Both of those things are 100% earned. Yes.
Yes. I mean, I get it. I'm me. I deserve everything that comes my way. But, fuck you guys, anyways. You know what's funny is like it's because like the pacing on this movie is like with the romantic comedy that like you literally have the opening section, which I laugh at now that I've seen. I think that might be the funniest scene in the entire movie besides the vibrator.
Oh, the opening of this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love
it. Because it's a great cold open. But the two actors are good looking. You want them to get together. Whereas like a lot of those Hallmark movies, they're so just like Shutterstock looking that you're like, I don't care. Like that you are seriously just a stock person and who gives a fuck.
Whereas Hot Frosty was Hot Frosty was pretty sexy.
Yeah, but that's not a Hallmark movie. That's Netflix, and they have a budget to actually get someone that has like abs.
But the chick in that movie has done like 87. The chick from Mean Girls has done like 87 Hallmark Christmas movies. But like, so
I've always wondered what the contracts must be like, because they're like, if you sign a contract with Hallmark, you can't just sign for one movie. If you want to get paid this amount of money, you're doing 16 movies.
It's almost like
you'll do them all in one weekend. But
it's like it's almost as bad as those like the music contract Kesha signed, where it's like, we own you for 17 albums and your firstborn child kind of record deal. And it's like, but like, you will be making Hallmark romantic comedies until you die. Until you die.
But the actor in this, he's the guy in Scream, isn't he? Like,
yeah. So like, dude, I like him in those movies. My problem with his character in those movies, and I've talked about when we did Scream 6, that motherfucker should have died in Scream 5.
Everyone should have died, but you hear how many people are coming. Everyone's coming back from the dead now. Yeah. It's like fucking Fast and the Furious now. Like you can't die.
In fact, I think he's one of the only returning characters from Scream 6.
And his sister's in it too.
Coming to Scream 7.
Yeah, his sister's in it. Yeah, both of the twins are in it. I really like him in that movie. I just the third act of the sixth one was just so, dude, it felt so bad. Like compared, like I don't really love the whole reveal in Hard Eyes. I'd like when you.
That's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, as soon as they kill the fat guy at the drive-in. Yeah, it's like I don't care as much. Even though the fucking that church scene has some gnarly kills in it. Like the dude, like her getting her head rammed onto the Valentine's Day statue, and her head just going like the muscles ripping off and like all the tendons and shit. And then the Asian dude getting his head like covered in wax. Gnarly shit. Like
he looked like someone out of Psycho Gorman.
Shot in the face with the fucking bolt, and it's like behind the eye and out the nose, and I'm just like, ah, like that was fucking.
Yeah, it was normal.
It's a fun that it's like it's a fun scene. It just doesn't feel it's that thing where you kind of go, okay, the movie's over, and then it's like, oh, is it really, kind of thing, and it's just like I don't know, especially the second time when you know it's coming, you're just like, oh, I would be happy if the movie had just ended in the drive-thru. Did how many of you guys watched the drive-through scene in the credits where it's like
Yeah.
the
I watched all the way to the end to see if there was a after credit scene because I didn't realize that there was a mid-credit roll scene, and I saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
The one
And it's
where
just
we're talking about at the end, she proposes, and then her friend is like
On the
taking the
camera.
Pretending to be
photos. Is
hard
there
eyes.
more after that?
No, that's the one we were talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
That's in the credits, right? So, but like, dude, it I don't want to. It's funny because it's like sounds like a shitting on it. It's just like this is one of those movies that doesn't hold up as well on a repeated viewing, but that doesn't
But
mean this movie
still,
isn't
this
fun.
poster is depicting the best kills. Like this couple
Dude.
fucking in the van and holes through the
So
head. Like
funny.
that's the best kills by far for me in the movie. Just because anytime you get to see through someone's head and see it like a reaction of
Always
another
good.
character, I'm like, that's just fun. It's so
You know
stupid,
what
that whole but I love it.
It reminds me of the scene from the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Yeah,
the
when she
chick-
shoots herself.
The gun she pulls out of her vagina, like it's wherever she pulls it from in that movie. And then like the whole like through her head is like that.
No,
Yeah,
it's like Kin, like the podcast. It's in her ass.
in her prison pocket.
Yep.
Her prison pocket. That is, I think, the best kill in the movie. It's weird because you know what's funny when I was rewatching this, I was like the one scene that I was like, oh my god, this wouldn't be possible. When they stab the fat police lady and they're like waving her around with the flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that lady weighs way
She
too
was
much.
on wires. She was on wires.
Yeah, I mean, yes, she was. I'm like, you ain't picking that lady up with a flagpole. That flagpole would have fucking broken, and it would have been
and
like,
if it's just that Asian guy, that he's not strong enough. And
Dude,
if
also-
it wasn't, it was the girl then, and she's like gotten a lot skinnier since Fast and the Furious. So
yeah,
there's no way.
I want to say two things. Tevin Sawa, I love you, and the fact that they named the cops Hobbs and Shaw
Hobbs
was
and
fucking.
Shaw.
It was,
I like it, and they
Really good.
reference it like the movie, and they're like, never heard of it.
What are you
I've
talking
never
about?
seen.
I'm not part of the
never
Fast and
seen it.
Furious franchise. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Also, I love that the guy. I always
Yeah.
forget that guy was Casper
Yeah.
Oh
when
yeah.
he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, most of his career has been like horror movies and horror things. Like he was on the Chucky show, which I still have
Yep.
not watched the second and third season. But
I should watch
was
that.
on-
I've never watched that.
I really liked the first season. The first season was really good. Yeah.
You know what show should never have ended was the Exorcist show. That show was awesome. It was
I heard that was
so
great.
good.
I've heard the Psycho show was really good too. The Bates Motel.
Bates Motel was fantastic.
I never
Yeah.
finished it. I got like halfway through and got sidetracked, and I should go back.
So good.
Dude, I've heard people wanting them to bring back fucking Hannibal, and I'm like, dude, after that third season, that show is some just garbage television, and I'm like, I couldn't even make it.
Porn.
Yeah, I'm like, after that show still doesn't make any sense to me. How did they get away with putting that show on fucking NBC and like as much fucking gores in it? Not talk about characters like getting the shit kicked out of them and never dying. That was like that whole show. Nobody ever dies on that show, so except for the victims of Hannibal. But like, man,
Nobody dies on that show except the people that die on that show.
Shut up, Ken.
It's just like the new
Yes.
Dexter show. That the gore on that, I'm surprised. I'm like, oh shit, fuck, that's gore.
Yeah, that's him as a teenager, right, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the start of his career. But I read this article. I'm like, why does this work so well? It's because it's what you're missing of Dexter and why Dexter worked so well. It's because it had that formula of like CSI type show where he was in hiding. He could do his, secondary story stuff where he's the murderer. But then the heart of the show is the cop drama and going back to the station and all the characters that you like. So they got to tap into that formula again, and it just works again. So you're like, oh, this is like nostalgically good. Whereas like the next one that they're working on after the fact, he's on the run now, so that you can't just like jump into that formula again. So I doubt this like sequel series is gonna work as good as this prequel series is working. So
We're
I don't
laughing
know.
at Ken's
laughing because I'm mildly
massive
entertained
cat.
by the drama that's happening in Ken's little square down here.
The cats are just like creating havoc for Ken, and you
Yeah,
see he's like,
every time I walk by,
so
she's
tired
like,
of
"What
it.
is happening?"
Is it
I'm
because you
so
brought a new
tired of-
cat?
No, sorry, no, he just really wanted attention. He was mad that he was locked out. He also has some separation shit from me, and so he was screaming at the door and crying. Now he's trying. He is too fat for this. The bowl is up there for Weasel to get to eat because he will eat all of her food.
Oh, Stripes, you large and in
He
charge cat.
can't eat up there because he picks food up and then spits it out.
You looking at that cat? You telling me he has ever spit a piece of food out?
You look like
I
a mom that
wouldn't
is so
believe you.
disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just really disappointed.
Oh
no! Get down.
My mom
My
said that
chat
to
was
me
trying
once.
to tell me that when Zelda puked in her cage, that they were disappointed in me for not running to clean it up. I'm like, it was stomach acid. It's just already soaked into the bed. There's no point of anything. So, yeah, I
How
definitely
close to
am,
your
like,
face part of the bed was it though?
I mean,
There's
it
a
was like
point.
over there. It was like,
What?
10 feet away. So
I guess your hair would save you though.
I mean, Ken's the one who had a cat puking on her. So live
Like,
on the
her?
Twitch.
Well, that's how Bean
on
woke
her-
me up one day too. I was laying in bed and I hit my snooze button, and I was like, I got time. This was when I was at my parents' place, and the next thing I know, Bean is puking right here, and I was like, okay, thanks so much.
Dude, the puking scene in this I hate it. Like,
Amazing.
when she stabs the fat guy through the fucking, or he stabbed, and I love how she's like, thanks, because she's like just covered in like
Yeah, it
blood
was
and
good
guts and
sound
shit.
effects too. Like it was a real
Yeah.
sounding puke. Like it instead
And
of
then she
those
goes
like really fake ones.
all over,
it
all over the
sounded
body,
fucking-
and you're just like, they're just like completely corrupting. I love that scene. I love how it ends because like the cop takes him to the airport, and then the paramedics like, I gotta go, and she takes both the blankets.
Yeah,
from
I
I
her.
got
That
another
shit
call.
was
I
hilarious.
need this.
Yeah, I'm gonna need these
and
blankets
this.
back.
Fuck you. I was here because that guy's hot, not because they're helping you.
Your hot boyfriend ran away, so I'm gonna go now, you fucking bitch.
These
Ugh.
muscles were not made for violence. They're made
Yeah.
for cuddling.
Cuddling.
I love him, dude. They're
He's
like,
so good in this movie.
what is she?
man.
She's like, I know you're so athletic and so muscular and so like, and he's like, yeah, these muscles weren't made for violence; they were made for cuddle. And I'm just like, these two have such great chemistry, and it's why
They're
this movie,
fantastic.
like,
They're fantastic.
if you had two actors who didn't have that kind of chemistry with each other, this movie wouldn't have worked nearly as
Not at
well. I
all.
think it would have been entertaining.
I
but,
wonder
like,
how much
these two-
riffing there was because like there was like a flow to it that I feel like was coming out a
it
lot
felt
more natural.
Yeah,
Probably because
Like-
I can't speak for her, but she probably wanted to actually bone him. So could be a
I mean,
thing.
both of them are very boneable. So like, yes, we all wanted to bone at least one of them, but like, yeah,
I don't know, Kin
I was looking.
to bone him.
if you
Sorry, what?
we asked if
I
you
was
wanted to
looking
bone
for
him.
trivia and stuff, and I like zoned out. What?
We were asking
Who
if
am
you
I
wanted to
boning?
bone the boy from this.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, cool. We all wanted to bone someone in the movie, or both of
We're
them.
just
In my
making
case,
sure.
I don't know. Can find some trivia and then we'll like wrap up.
Wait, bone? Who? What?
Who am I boning?
Bone? What? Huh? Poop?
The writer of this film also wrote Freaky, It's a Wonderful Knife, and Time Cut.
Oh, Freaky's so good, and that makes sense because
It's
Freaky
Christopher Landon. It's Michael Landon's son.
Freaky
Oh.
was like just over the top enough that you're like, I didn't actually expect it to do that, and I love that it
Vince
did.
Vaughn is so good in that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Also, the mask designer for Hard Eyes is the special effects artist Tony Gardner, who also created the killer masks for Freaky, Happy Death Day, and Totally Killer.
Oh, fantastic.
Makes sense. I like the Totally Killer mask, and I like the Thanksgiving mask, and I like this mask.
The problem with Totally Killer, it had the same mask as that other one that just showed up on Netflix, which I hear was real bad. Where it's just like
a rip-off of Totally Killer. It's the exact same premise and everything.
Wait, what's it called?
Time cut or something?
Time rewind. But you want to know what, Josh? That movie was shot a year before the Totally Killer even happened. Like it's
the thing that happens in Hollywood because they were probably putting out the scripts and shopping them around, and then someone did a copycat and put it out, and then it got shelved. And
look at last year, it was Immaculate and The First Omen. Like it was like
it's like Volcano and Armageddon. You know, like yeah, Dante's Peak.
Yeah, they shop scripts around, and so
Totally Killer was actually Amazon Prime.
Right.
Yeah, Totally Killer. But the other one that just came out last year was on Netflix was done like a year before that one was even shot. There was like a 2-year gap. Another movie that got kind of whatever. So
it's pretty fucking bad too.
Yeah, I heard that. I haven't seen it, but yeah. Any more cool stuff, Ken?
Not really.
How much did it make?
Well, you would ask me that after I just closed it.
I mean, you would ask me that. You
would made $33 million.
There we go. Thank you.
What was the budget?
8.
Oh, so
18.
It was only an $8 million budget.
No, 18. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense. Like 8 million is not like a lot. I mean, 18 is not a lot either. But I don't know. Like that's what this is. Like you don't need.
That's a Sony level budget. Whereas like if it was like Ash or what, I don't know what Ash is, but it's a Shutter budget. That's going to be closer in the like 7, 8, 9.
And I wonder how much of that honestly had to do with working in Seattle, right? Like you're shooting in Seattle, it's a more expensive city, and like,
right?
I wonder. So let's see. Okay, you guys have anything? What is everybody feeling for next week? Is there any things you guys want to fucking watch for the show next week?
No.
But
okay, I guess we'll figure it out and tweet out, or probably just show up and say what we're watching or whatever.
Come back next week when we next week it.
When we next week it.
Did you just say that we might eat out?
I'm going to.
I mean,
what are we eating?
We all love eating pussy here, but like that's not what I said. No.
Damn.
Well, I mean that.
Damn.
We are all pussy eaters here. Pussy eaters. Yeah.
I eat ass.
Yeah. I mean, Ken is the
ass. Let's visit
an
old movie. Have you guys talked about?
Oh, we were gonna do Repo the Genetic Opera at some point.
Oh, let's do
Repo then. Let's do Repo. I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
I love that movie. Okay, let's do Repo. Repo the Genetic Opera.
I'm doing a second watch. I've actually only seen that once.
I've seen that a couple times, 2 or 3 times.
It's been honestly probably 20 years since I watched that movie. So.
And the singer for Skinny Puppy is in it.
Or something like that, you know, around that amount of time.
And the guy from Buffy is the main character. So.
And Bill Moseley is in it.
Yeah.
And Paris Hilton does a kick-ass job in it.
She does. She plays herself, but she does a good job.
Came out in 2008, so it hasn't been out for 20 years, but
I was gonna say
people clown her acting skills, but honestly,
she's really good. And like, everybody talks shit about it, but she's very good.
Very, very. Like one of my guilty pleasures is that movie House of Wax.
Oh yeah, I love House of Wax.
I thought she was really good in that movie.
I like how she dies.
Veronica Mars, like
yeah.
You know what's funny though? I had someone trying to yell around that like because Jared Padalecki has been like accused of being an asshole, and then someone was trying to say that Jensen Ackles was too, and I'm like, no, you Google it, and Jensen Ackles is like supposed to be one of the nicest guys in the world, and like you guys are just haters, fucking haters. and I love Jensen Ackles, and
like
he was
Jensen
great, and
Ackles.
he was great in My Bloody Valentine, even though that movie kind of fell apart, the whole reveal thing also.
The
but
problem with that movie is, have you guys talked about the remake?
no,
Okay, we'll have to do that one of these days.
yeah.
No.
Okay,
Have you
cool.
guys talked about
Next
the
week-
original?
No,
What the
I don't
fuck did you
think.
just say to me?
I said I don't think. Maybe we did. Dude, I don't remember. Like, we're almost at
That's my
250 episodes.
favorite 80s slasher is My Bloody Valentine. That's my favorite 80s slasher.
I've never
ever.
watched them.
That's why I have the killer tattooed on my back.
I prefer.
I
the
met
fucking,
him.
Yeah,
He was at the Calgary Horror Con. He was such a nice fucking dude, man. Like
That's what I hear.
he would like.
he was
It's,
he went out of his way to make sure that another picture was taken, because I do all the like photography shit, and someone had something else that was like, and he's like, I'm gonna be coming back. Like when everyone was packing up and leaving, he like came back to make sure that he did a free picture with this guy.
Very
because-
cool.
Yeah, like just like
Speaking of
yeah.
which, this poster
Super
Josh
cool.
found, it reminds me of My Bloody Valentine. But yeah, it has that My Bloody Valentine. 'cause the
burning.
yellow in the eyes. And no, it reminds me of My Bloody Valentine a little bit.
well, he's
I
doing
know
the
you're talking about the
burning, like, yeah.
I know, but I'm talking the yellow looks like the mining helmet, and with the mask and whatever, it kind of gives me like
What yellow are you talking about? There's no yellow.
on the top of
White.
his head. It's like a yellowish, whitish yellow. But yeah, I don't know.
That's
man.
just the
Whatever.
sheen from the.
I'm talking about his head. It's the yellowish mask.
I'm enjoying
Fuck you
this fucking
There's no yellow.
interaction that's
It's
happening.
red
right
and
now.
white. It's literally red and white.
Okay, well, in the movie, his mask was yellowish. So fuck you guys.
There you go.
Repo the Genetic Opera next week.
Red and white.
Yeah. Okay. You can find me on fucking Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. I mean, Blue Sky and everything. Rod_Johnston, Johnston, Twitch. Can
What's
follow
Blue
me.
Sky?
I've been playing Star Wars Outlaws and been playing Split Fiction with my buddy Vile, one of my mods, last couple weekends. So, yep, find me there. And my book, The Death and Rebirth of a Human Heart, you could buy that on Amazon. So, Ken, your stuff.
Twitch.tv/continue. KINTINUE. I play video games.
STDmotel.com.
STD Hotel, STD Motel, Quaint Taint, Continue.com. Only
Didn't
now.
Ralph make a new one?
I think he was working on a new one. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, come by, say hi. I'm very sorry for the randomness. I did not take my Ritalin today, and the conversations were wild.
Ken fucks a cucumber. I mean, a caterpillar.
What the hell?
Caterpillar, okay? Get it right.
Well, talk about random.
That's just
I
raw.
like that's the weird part of it, is that it was a cucumber, not the fucking of the caterpillar.
No, caterpillar
But
is
the
like
cucumber,
friendly.
Calm down.
That's friendly, okay?
Josh, your
Yeah.
stuff.
Hilarious.
Look,
Josh.
I'm not wearing a hat anymore, so it's just that.
I'm not wearing a hat.
I'm not. I got a nice
You should have
haircut.
said
it
that
looks
just
great.
like you did the last.
I'm wearing a
I'm
hat.
not wearing a hat.
Josh turns into Ralph Wiggins, as what happens here.
It's the part of the show that I know literally no one is listening to, so I don't even have to self promote. It's all good.
Just put all
Okay.
this in links in description.
I mean that also, but okay, Brian, your stuff.
You can find me here. You can find me at, well, you can't find me at We're Gonna Make You Watch podcast right now because we're still having technical issues. We still have yet to record the Candyman
okay.
episode, but we're very
Nice.
excited to do so.
Nice.
And actually, I'm actually supposed to be recording tomorrow, first episode of the Awesomely Bad podcast.
Nice.
So
I'm very
really
excited for that.
to start getting that going. I'm gonna get about, I want to get about 4 or 5 episodes in the bank, and then I'll start rolling out the launch for
Unlike what we
podcasts.
do, where I literally, it's like Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and I go, "Oh shit, I didn't even fuck." And then-
I mean, I've done that plenty too. Okay. Okay, fuckers. Next week, Repo the Genetic Opera. Thank you for listening to this shit show, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
It's in the game.
Poop.
It's in kids'
I have
ass.
to go make Snickers